Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you, Google Gemini had a monster week as far as AI advancements leading up to Thanksgiving. In this video, I want to introduce you to my highlights from Gemini 3. We were at Gemini 2.5. Now it's Gemini 3. And if you have a Google Workspace account like we have at Fox and Roach, all of these features are accessible and then some. But if you have a free Google account and you're watching this video, you still have Gemini 3 and some versions of the image generator, which I want to talk about. So let's start with the major updates. Okay, at a high level, Gemini 2.5 went to Gemini 3 that gave it more capabilities across the board on all things Gemini AI. Having said that, the second big one, update-wise, was in the image generation. If you've kept up with my videos and my podcasts, you would have heard the word Nano Banana, which is Google's image generator model. That now is Nano Banana Pro, and it is clearly the best image generator editor by a long shot. And we're going to look at that as we look at all of the Google AI tools that you have access to, whether it's a free account or a paid account. Okay, first things first, NotebookLM, which is probably my closest second to ChatGPT. And I'll tell you, Gemini is overtaking ChatGPT on many fronts right now with this update. A couple of things they got to work on, but I think that'll also happen here in 2026. NotebookLM is a great way to distill, leverage AI with the sources you trust. So as an example, as I walk you through this scenario, I want you to kind of picture things you do as a real estate agent, professional. So in this case, what I did was I logged into the MLS, pulled out the town I live in, North Wales, real estate market data. I downloaded 6 months of activity. Okay, let's say I want to do a how's the market piece, right? So I clicked on it. I simply, before I did that, I said create new. If this is not Gemini 3 update, this is a NotebookLM 101. Click it. I uploaded a PDF file, which was just basically the 6 months activity, okay? And I created this notebook, okay? That was North Wales real estate data. You see that on the left? Simple export from the MLS, created it. And you can obviously interact with it. That's not really new. But what they've added was they now added infographic and a slide deck. These 6 were around. If you've not played with this, you ought to play with this. You can create a podcast, video, flashcards, quiz, the whole thing, but infographic. So I took that, added it, and I clicked on this one right here. I simply clicked on the infographic. For those of you that want to kind of customize it, if you click the pencil button before you click the button, you can give it some guidelines, right? I need a landscape, I need a portrait square, concise, standard, detail, and you can also give it some styling stuff here. Okay, think of this as a prompt, okay? I'll give you an example of that here shortly. So I did that for one. Let's look at what it did. All I did was just click the button. Okay, in this case, I just added the PDF, click the button, and voila, I got this as the North Wales market snapshot. Okay? You still have to verify these numbers are accurate, but it always pulls it from its understanding from the PDF I gave it. How long would that have taken us to create? Even if you're really good with design, that takes a while. Okay, now I like this infographic, but I felt like it picked colors that I might want to change. Okay, so that's my next step. So now I go to this one right here, and I want to show you the 3 dots here. If I click that, view custom prompt, this is what I gave it. I said use these hex colors, change the title to 6 month North Wales PA real estate snapshot. That's where you give it in this pencil thing before you click the button. So I did this, and it came out with that. A lot cleaner, right? And look at this. How long will that take us to create? You have single click. And reason you can create these infographics is because the underlying image generator with Gemini, that is running NotebookLM, is Nano Banana Pro. So try it next time for a market update. And visual image, as you know, images tell the story is way better than text, right? So that's a great application. Okay, so the next one. They also did a slide deck, which is interesting. I mean, you may not do a slide deck for market update, but any sources you add, it'll create a slide deck. So I just did that for this just to see what it showed, what it does. And it basically, I want to go expand to a full-fledged screen. This is what it created from the same data. Look at this, executive summary. Market is dominant. Folks, game over. Okay, if you're not learning AI and you're not investing time in a few minutes every day to sharpen your skills, be curious, this will have taken you, this may have almost gone to the extent of killing Gamma, right? If those of you that are, look at this, the quality of this output is phenomenal, right? And it's a slide deck right inside of NotebookLM. All right, that's a great slide deck. Okay, that's enhancement number 1. Gemini is now 3 is running running Gemini NotebookLM, and anything images is run by Nano Banana Pro. So let me take you to Gemini.google.com. So in preparation for recording this video, I did something here. The upcoming 100, or depending on when you're going to watch this video, on December 3rd, Real Estate Flash 100 episode. So I said, you know what? I can probably create a key takeaways for every episode, simply giving it the podcast transcript. Okay, so here, watch what all I did here with literally in a minute, okay? So I basically gave it a transcript file, a text file. I just simply uploaded it, okay? You can upload a website, link, blog, anything, okay? And I simply said, analyze deeply the content of this podcast transcript. So whenever I record something, I get a text file as a transcript. This is just the text conversation between the two people that are on the call. It did the executive summary, it gave me a summary. Then I basically said, okay, fair enough. Now I gave it the speaker picture. This is Steve Brown, by the way, December 3rd guest. I said, now generate an infographic. It's not a complicated prompt, with key takeaways, and give final output in 9:16. In the footer, give a call to action and use a color that I'm sort of the brand color. Include the attached picture of the podcast speaker in the graphic. Nano Banana thinks, and it came up with that. Okay, let me click on it so you can kind of see the full picture. Okay? Powerful, folks. I mean, you can create infographics, and you can tweak it, and I've played around with it, as you can see here, other things I've done here. So you can go from any input to a visual within seconds, okay? Enter Nano Banana. Okay, last update I want to give you, and I could do hours on this because there's a lot in Gemini 3 and Nano Banana, but infographic is a thing. So nowadays, I'm just slapping anything in here. Watch this. Now, this is another example of this. I gave it a web page link from a podcast I follow, do an analysis, pull the analysis, now draw me a nice visual. Voila, I have a visual, okay? You can simplify complex information in visuals powered by Nano Banana Pro. Okay, last thing I'll share with you is Google AI Studio. Okay, it's aistudio.google.com. Now you can simply describe Gemini AI app. Okay, I'll give you a simple example. Okay, I'll give you under build your apps. If you don't have any apps, nothing's going to show up here. So I built, okay, so same transcript, the text file I showed you for the infographic. What if I wanted to build an Instagram carousel, but I needed to call out the key statements or tools that were talked about on the episode? Imagine if I had to do all of that. I had to, I could do it through other tools of AI, but I said, let me just build a simple podcast episode carousel builder. So I simply described the app. Create an app where I can upload the transcript. I'm working on the images, but for my podcast episode, and then just outline the key highlights. So it just went off for 87 seconds and fixed itself. Basically, in a couple of minutes, this app was built. And it is built to take the transcript of the episode. I'm going to upload it right in front of you. Upload text. Here's the transcript for one of my episode 99, I believe, with Will Penny. Yeah. And then look, this is just a conversation. It's very raw text file. And you could do this with the North Wales PDF. I mean, you could do it with anything, okay? And I say, okay, now go ahead and generate me the text. I asked it for 4 carousel text ideas for Instagram. And it's analyzing the transcript. So this is a very simple app that You don't need technical knowledge. You just need to converse and just tell it what you want. Okay. Okay. So here's what are the 4 key highlights it brought up. Turn static reports into engaging audio podcasts for your clients using Google's NotebookLM. That's what Will said. This is, again, not making stuff up. It's digesting the file, and it gave me these 4 things, and I can simply copy it and create the carousel. The next thing I want to build, I just want to show you a very simple example, but I could leverage Nano Banana to build those 4 images for me. Boom. So the best AI platform by far now is Google Gemini. Yeah, they got to work a little bit on custom GPT, conversions, a store where it's easy to find gems, which is what Google calls it. But from a foundational AI model with Gemini 3, Nano Banana Pro, and NotebookLM, you have it. Okay, so what will you build today with Gemini? Or what will you create? Okay, so that's my message to you. And I would challenge you to go build an infographic for a market update and leverage it going forward. And I think you'll have some light bulb moments along the way. Great day, everybody.